Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dark Souls Remastered, the Manosphere playthrough on FoxeoGames, and the topic of discussion for this entire playthrough, similar to the last playthrough, is that we're talking about the Red Pill, the Manosphere, to some small degree, maybe stuff on like the Black Pill, MGTOW, men's rights. Mainly Red Pill. I think Red Pill has the best perspective on just looking at reality for what it is, recognizing the realities of men and women and biology and society and how things function, and operating within all of those realities. So, when last we left off, we destroyed Pinwheel. Just destroyed him. I think he got one shot off on us. Oh yeah, today's drink of choice is hot black coffee. How about that image right there? You like that, guys? Doesn't that look good? I mean, yeah. Anyway. Let me just say this. The textures in this game could have used so much more. So much more. You can attack people with the Skull Lantern. Has anyone ever done a Skull Lantern playthrough? Just using the Skull Lantern? Probably not, because I'd imagine it'd be pretty boring. I rolled right into it. Some of their attacks, some of the attacks of some enemies have a lingering hitbox. It's good to be aware of those. What if I land on that? Where could I go from there? Could I go here? Oh, look at this. Large soul of a proud knight. I don't know why I threw a little accent on that, but I did. Large soul. Oh, damn. Am I? Yeah. I feel like I could activate some of them. Oh boy, okay. This if this is what I think it is, this is going to be potentially very dangerous. Oh shit. Ah, that gosh darn it, that stupid ass kick. Every single time I do that kick, it's by mistake. That kick got me killed. I was supposed to just do an R1, then roll out of the way the arrow, and then heal. Instead, that stupid kick activated. I can't stand that dumb kick. Oh, I wish I could. I mean, does anyone know if there's a mod that disables that stupid ass kick? It's just utterly garbage. The controls on it have always been trash. I don't know what. See, look right there. Did not want to do the kick that time either. I swear, every single time I do the kick, it's almost always by mistake. And the one time I want to do it, knocking Lautrec off a ledge or something, it won't activate. It gives me trouble. Oh my gosh, guys. Really aggravates me, that dumb, stupid, terrible, garbage kick control in this game. Really? Alright, anyway. Enough of that frustration. Back to the topic at hand. The Manosphere. When last we left off, we talked about the old versus new social contract, and how the solution is to completely abandon... Why didn't I kindle that bonfire? Oh well. The solution is to abandon the old contract. You want nothing to do with it anymore. I don't need to go back into that room with all the skeletons, because I think the only thing in there really is the ember for the white. What is it? The ember to get full divine. I don't need it. So, yeah, we're not going to deal with that. That room is pretty tough, I will say that. It is a pretty hardcore room in there. How did he not hit me? I have no idea, but whatever. I'll take it. Now, it is possible that if you make a beeline for the bonfire, they can follow you down into the bonfire room, or area, rather. So, do be careful. If they jump down here, it'll deactivate the bonfire, and then you got to deal with them down here. And the ledge is right there, and they can easily knock you off the ledge. Oh, you know what? I just realized we're not going to have our souls if we don't go down there and get them. Damn. Okay, well, let's just do this for now, and maybe... I don't know. Going back up is now going to be extremely difficult to get back up there. If it's possible. I'm not even sure at this point. We're not going to worry about those souls. It's only 20,000 some souls and, what, 2 humanity? Something like that. We'll kindle this bonfire, even though I don't think we need to. But we've got plenty of humanity. So, yes, from last time, we discussed what you do about the social contract having changed. Well, you recognize that it's changed, and you stop doing it. That's one of the best things you do. So, you just stop doing it. You stop following the old social contract, and you don't worry about it anymore. And part of that is, if you don't feel like you absolutely need to, don't get married. I mean, that's going to be an issue with a lot of women. I'm probably, well, I'm still in that boat where I'm just a little traditional, so I'm still going to do the marriage thing, and even if it's not necessarily in my best interest. But I know that for most women, I mean, if you want a long-term relationship, and not all men are going to need one, don't think that you need a long-term relationship. Marriage is probably going to have to be in there at some point, but know that it's your decision. Know that marriage is an extreme disadvantage for men, an extreme advantage for women, in like 99% of cases, if not more than that. So it may be in your best interest to just not get married. Or if you do get married, make sure it's one of the last things that you do. By that, what I mean is that you're done dating, you're kind of done with that scene, you're happy with where you're at, and now you're content with just settling down. But don't settle down for a woman. That's the key here, guys. You don't settle down for a woman, you settle down for you. You settle down if you want to, not because a woman wants you to. Uh-oh. Oh, I meant to dodge, but for some reason it tried to do another attack. There's still the reason why I was holding the is it L2? In this case, left bumper on the Xbox One controller. If you're holding the left bumper or the L2, no, sorry. If you're holding the L1 button, and then you attack with the R1 button, or the right bumper like this, there are times where if you get hit, it queues up an attack, and after you come out of a stagger, it'll then perform the other attack, even though you don't want it to. And it is a problem. It's been a problem since the original Dark Souls. It's been a problem on every platform I've played of Dark Souls. PC, Xbox 360, PS3, the remastered version on Switch, the remastered version on PC, the Prepare to Die edition on PC. And I haven't used any of the other versions, so I don't know about those. But I imagine it is in those as well. So it's a consistent bug that they haven't ever fixed, and I've talked about it at length, and you know, it's nothing new. I've complained about it for a long time now. Do I know where I'm going? Not really. There we go. Yes, I do. This is the way to go out, but now I need to get to the bonfire. Damn. I hate when I do that. I found this way, now I need to find the bonfire. I love to get turned around here. It's just so much fun constantly getting turned around looking for the bonfire with all these very, very potentially lethal enemies. This is not the bonfire, but I'm going to grab this real quick. But I think somewhere along here we're going to get to the Black Knight. I just don't want him to show up and surprise me because he's not nice. Oh, somebody died. Poor guy. There he is. Right? Is that him? No. I think the Black Knight's down in there. White chunks if you need them for Divine. I don't. But, you know, if you ever did, there it is. Aha. Right here. Got it. Okay. So we are not going to kindle this yet. If we die, then we'll go ahead and kindle it to get plus 10. Estus Flask is plus 4, not bad. You know, it's a good idea to go to the Duke's Archives first, I suppose, in order to get another Firekeeper's Soul. And then that'll take us to plus 5, and I think you can get to plus 6, right? Where's the other one? Where's the one that I missed? Let me take a look and see if I have one in my inventory I just haven't given yet. I'd feel silly if I did. Oh, it'd be in here. Nope. Okay, so... Oh, before we finish the game, I do need to upgrade a spear weapon so I can create the Ornstein Spear, because I plan on having one of my next playthroughs, at some point here in the near future, be an Ornstein playthrough. Which means no shield. Those are always fun. I like doing no shield playthroughs just because it changes things up for me. I tend to rely on the shield a lot, and I know the shield can be quite a crutch. Whoa! Normally I don't activate those guys, or get their attention rather. And I should have gone human just so I could be invaded here, but I didn't, so whatever. And we also need to go buy Ornstein's armor from what's-his-face. Those crystal lizards, little rascals, little bastards, more like it. So one thing I want you guys to notice that we talked about last time that bears repeating, because I think it's really an issue that you need to internalize hardcore, is the idea of men always being the perpetrators and women always being the victims. Anytime you see anything about domestic violence, if anyone's talking about it, if there's a brochure, if there's an if there's an advertisement on TV, if there's a ad spot on Facebook, I want you to look at it and see what the imagery shows. See what it says. And you will probably notice the same thing that I notice. That in nearly all cases, there's an inherent bias in there where it represents the perpetrator as a male and the victim as a female or as children. You'll notice that the victims are women and children, and the perpetrators are always represented as men. So take a look at that, analyze that, and see what you can see. I want to get one more item from here, so let me see if I can... Yeah, there we go. Right here. That's a good soul to get. Has a lot of there's a lot of souls in it for you. Oh yes. Okay. Now we're gonna get this guy right here. These guys can drop little humanities, or little humanity. These guys can drop humanity, but they can overwhelm you, even though they're really small. So just be careful. The biggest danger of these little skeletons is that they'll trap you in a corner, and if you have no poise, they can stagger the heck out of you. So just be aware of that. I don't normally get this item because I don't normally upgrade divines all the way, but if you need it, there it is. Now you know. Some people used to farm humanity off those skeletons. It's no longer necessary. If you want to farm humanity the legit way, without using any hacks or cheats or mods, do it on the humanity enemies, those little ghost thingies in the DLC. You know, the little like humanity enemy creatures that hurt you just by touching you. Yeah, so look at DV brochures, advertisements, look at DV commercials, websites. There's almost always this presentation of the women as victims, women and children are victims, and men are suspects. And you'll notice this theme perpetuating throughout. Also, whenever you look at DV advocacy groups for domestic violence, you'll notice that they tend to be full of women, almost all women, and they tend to also push feminist agenda, like radical feminist agendas, progressive agendas, left-wing agendas. That those all get tied together. That's all part of the same movement. You will not find people in the DV movement that advocate for men. That's almost unheard of. It's almost always for women. Look at the shelters. DV shelters, domestic violence shelters for victims, and I put that in quotations because we don't know who the victims are when we haven't even investigated, but we just make assumptions, right? You'll notice that almost all shelters are exclusively for women and children. In many major metropolitan cities in the United States and other countries, there are zero shelters for men, domestic violence shelters. Zero. So you have to understand what I'm saying here. Not like one or just a few. There are zero shelters specifically that allow men. What that means is that men are by default not allowed, only women. Zero. Okay? Something to think about. That's a huge, that's a big thing. That's a big deal. They have nowhere to go for domestic shelter. Is that right? Well, obviously not. You know, it's impossible to tell on that attack where the hitbox is. See, I don't know why he does that screaming attack even when you can see him. It used to be that he only did it when you were out of sight. Now he's doing it when you're right up on top of him. It didn't used to be like that. Yeah, see? And I can never get the timing on the dodges on that. I'm just going to heal up because I can. There's no reason not to. If I had buffed my weapon, I probably would have knocked him out already. Yeah, he would have been dead already. I want to stay close. I notice if I stay close, he tends not to do that. Hello. That casting. I'm running out of stamina. There we go. So I think maybe they changed his attack pattern to where he will do the stabbed from the ground attack based on distance rather than line of sight. I thought it used to be based on line of sight. All the skeleton body parts rolling around in here. So we haven't leveled up in a minute, have we? Let's see. That'll give us 2 points. That'll give us two, then 4. 2, then 3. 2, then 4 is a better deal. That gives us 2. That gives us 2. Okay, we'll just do that for now. I like to keep everything fully upgraded. And any junk to get rid of here? Let's see. You know what? I'm going to move the Claymore over until I decide if I want to use it or not. Okay, here we go. Black Knight Great Axe. Nope, don't need that. I don't even think I can hold that right now. The Lucerne is a nice weapon. It doesn't. The Great Scythe is a great weapon as well, but the Lucerne does not have the best moveset in my opinion. The moveset is. Oh, we got 2 Skull Lane. Oh, that's right. We picked one up, of course. It's not a bad weapon at all. The Lucerne. It just I don't like the limitations on one of the two-handed R1. I think it's the two-handed R1 being a overhead smash that's a bit limited in its hitbox. Okay, so we are done here. Let's get to... Actually, did we take care of the Hydra? I think we did, right? I hope so, because we're now going to go get the pendant to get to the DLC. It's pendant time. Alright, let's get rid of anything else we don't need, which is that club there. And then equip the bow, and if we can do it, we'll just equip the Wanderer Hood. Yep, we can fast roll. Excellent. Alright, well, it looks like we're not going to use the full Elite Knight armor set. But that's fine. I mean, I really needed the Ring of Favor and Protection as well for that. So I needed that, plus a lot more endurance, I think. Right between the legs. I want you to also look at examples where government agencies or NGOs, non-governmental organizations, reach out to domestic violence victims, unquote. There was one in Australia that had a DV helpline, DV short for domestic violence. And the helpline literally referred to women. And when it talked about men with the helpline, it specifically said, for men who are abusers and need to get help to stop abusing, you can call this line. So it literally assumed that if a man was going to call the domestic violence helpline, it's because he's a perpetrator of domestic violence who needs help stopping. Not that he's a victim. He needs help stopping. He needs to call them so that they can help him not be a perpetrator anymore. That was just the assumption that went with it. So, you know, that's the kind of crap you get from the government and non-government organizations that work with the government. Now, I sat through a domestic violence presentation. And I'm not going to, well, I won't give you all the details, but it was a presentation given to government agencies. The presentation had something called I think it was called the cycle of abuse or wheel of abuse. And it was like this circle that, it wasn't a Venn diagram, but it was this kind of a circle. And I love the katana in that if you two-hand it, you don't get that bounce back effect. And the circle showed like almost like a pie chart, different kinds of abuse and what can happen. And every time it referred to a victim, it used the language she. And every time it referred to a suspect or perpetrator, it used, look at how perfectly he matches my movement. Every time it referred to a perpetrator, it used the language, I don't think you can shoot through this, can you? No. It used the language of he. And that's very normal. That's very normal to refer to. Oh, shit. Come on now. I need to get him out from behind there. Oh, shit. Oh, shoot. Oh, golly. Yeah, the problem I'm going to have with this weapon is you have to be so close to these guys to hit them. It's going to take a while. Even with the bow and arrow, it's going to take a while. I want to use that bonfire. That's why I keep hitting them. But at the rate we're going, it'd be easier to just skip it. Interesting that the bow makes it sound like it's not hitting armor. I guess it always does that, huh? I don't know how they expect you to fight these guys. Although I have an idea. There we go. Does this affect me? No. Okay. Oh, no. He's going to block that other one from getting up there. Gosh darn it. He's stuck in that corner again. Let's do this. There we go. We got both. Excellent. And I'll just help this process along by shooting him. I don't know how long that poison's going to last, whether it'll take them all the way to death or not. But the poison cloud's actually a good way to tackle these guys. Especially if you can get them both to come up here and like get jammed up right in this spot. I find it's best to wait until they do their attack to hit them, but I'm a little impatient. And I find they typically don't do that attack where they kick back, the kickback attack here. Alright, so anyway, back to the Manosphere stuff. I sat through this presentation, like I said, every single instance in which it was assumed that the person was a perpetrator used the language of he, every single instance of a victim used the language of she or referred to children. So again, it's this assumption, men are perpetrators, women are victims. This is something I don't hear many other people talking about, not even in the red pill community. I don't hear a lot of discussion about that. Now, people allude to that concept, but they don't spell it out as clearly as I am here. And if someone is doing that, let me know. But I put it very succinctly and very clearly in a one-sentence statement. Society assumes, when it comes to domestic violence, society always assumes that women are victims and men are perpetrators. That's a one-sentence, simple statement that everyone can follow. It's not complicated at all. So, there you go. Yeah, this is a really tough spot here because you get these two crystal guys come at you, and then a third one shooting an arrow at you, and they all do massive amounts of damage when they hit. So, this is a tough area, really. It's tougher than it seems at first. And this area can really get you killed. If you underestimate the effect that these guys can have on you, you'll die. Especially that jab attack right there, that little shoulder thrust that they do, that can do some massive damage in the blink of an eye. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to compete with this guy because he'll do so much damage hitting me and I'll do so little hitting him. Yeah, see? He'll kill me long before I kill him if he gets even a 1 or 2 shots off. But the good news is I got him down to the point where I can kill him in 1 shot. That's what I wanted. As long as I can kill him in 1 shot, it should be fairly easy. Because there's that other guy behind me. I just need to one-shot him real quick, and then I can tackle this guy. Oh, shoot! Oh, that stupid queued R1. That's how I got hit. The better you get at this game, the more you realize it still has its bugs and glitches and issues, so that sucks. We are going to get out of here after we get the medallion or pendant or whatever it's called. Yep, we got it. Awesome. And I actually don't think that Chandler stays dead, does he? If that Chandler stayed dead, I'd take him out. Look at that. See, that's how much that little shoulder attack did right there. You saw that? Over half of my health. It's crazy. Yeah, if he stayed dead, I'd kill him right now, but I don't think he does, actually. So, let's head back. I've never done the Duke's Archive skip jump. I've tried it. It's difficult if you don't know how to do it, that's for sure. You know, one of the other sad things is that religion, particularly Christianity, reinforces the old social contract and encourages men to give up their power, encourages men to prostrate themselves in front of women. It encourages men to essentially worship women as sort of idols in their life. And they, of course, no Christian would say that they actually do that. They're not going to admit to that. They don't think they do that. They're going to deny it. But the pedestalization of women is very common in Christianity as well. That's the most common religion, I think, for most people that are watching this. Islam, not so much, although still, Islam treats women as great prizes, great gifts, because they don't promise, Islam doesn't promise women that they'll have men when they get to heaven. But at least some aspects of Islam, and I know that there's some disagreement here, at least some sect or sects of Islam do promise... Do I need to modify anything here? Are we good? No, we're good. Do promise men women when they get to heaven. The idea is that heaven is lots of women, because women are prizes to be sought after and captured. They're prizes, they're valuable. Women often see this as degrading. They don't realize it's the exact opposite. When stories and movies and books and popular media portray a woman as a prize, that elevates her value. It's saying she has great value, that she is worth great value. And when men seek them as a prize, it means that the man inherently then has less, because the man is seeking something of value. If the man had all the value he needed, he wouldn't be seeking more, right? You know what? Did I already kill the Moonlight Butterfly? I don't think I did. If not, we'll go do that now. We don't need to. It's optional. But if you want to get your own divine weapon, you would need to kill the Moonlight Butterfly first to get the divine ember. So when you look at how media portrays women as the prize to be sought, the valuable thing in the relationship, you know, you look at what other men say, and I've caught myself saying this, unfortunately. You'll look at a guy, you know, at a party. You'll be at a party, some event, and he shows up with his new girlfriend or new wife that you haven't seen, and you walk up and be like, hey, you know, look at this. Why would you be with this loser? Or, you know, man, you're lucky to have her. Make sure not to let her go. And the thing there is always, the woman is the prize, the man is the lucky one. He's lucky to have her. He's very fortunate that she's willing to lower herself to be on his level. Women, you won't hear women say, he's out of my league. I mean, yeah, that concept exists, I'm sure, but it's not something you really hear very much. Women don't tend to say that. You don't hear it in popular media. However, you hear it all the time in reality and in popular media. Man, she's out of your league. You can't get a woman like that. Man, she's way above you. Man, you don't have a chance of getting a woman like that. That's how men talk. Why would men talk that way? Oh, it looks like I already have been through here, huh? Yeah. I think so. But you know what? I made a beeline for the Elite Knight armor set. I don't know if I tackled the... And I got the Partisan. I don't think I actually killed the Moonlight Butterfly. So let's go get her. And I just realized I'm not in human form to summon the witch, but that's okay. They can drop the egg vermifuge, which cures the egg condition you can get stuck with. It's not a big deal because you can get it from somewhere else, guaranteed drop. You don't have to depend on the RNG for this guy to drop it. Or this snake, rather. So, this is where Witch Beatrice's summon sign would be. There are two summon signs that I'm aware of in this game where you don't need to be in human form for them. One is Dusk, and you don't summon her as an aid in battle, but you summon her to talk to her and buy stuff from her as an NPC. And the other one is Sif during the Manus fight. You do not need to be in human form to summon Sif. Oh. That's doing a lot of damage. Holy shit. That's a lot of damage for how low my level is and everything with this. You know, that's like one of the rarest attacks that she does. Last time I fought her, she didn't do that once. And done. Wow, I could have killed her with just the bow at +5. Not bad. Alright, let's go up and get the goods. We didn't need to kill her, but we did just because we could. And besides, I realize now I should do a playthrough where I try to get everything possible. Collect as much stuff as I can, get lots of upgrade materials, farm lots of upgrade materials, and then be ready to do all sorts of playthroughs with it. Like, have the next playthrough be, like, for example, in this case, the Ornstein, then playthrough as Kieran, Lord's Blade Kieran, then playthrough as, you know, whoever. Actually, I just realized I didn't sit at that one bonfire. Whatever, we'll go back to the Undead Parish. Then maybe go through and do the Black Knight playthrough. So, I think I should definitely plan ahead. I'm not going to finish this playthrough without having done quite a bit of... Let's see. Let's level up. Without having done quite a bit of... Let's see, that's 2 points. That's 3. Legwork beforehand. I'm also going to go through and kill every single NPC I can think of. At least that's the goal. We'll see if I remember to do that. Including, like, Andre Vastora, the Giant Knight, the Giant Blacksmith, all that. We're going to knock that stuff out. And you know what? I'm going to have to write down the time here. We're about 35 minutes in. I got to take a quick bathroom break, but I am going to cut the video so you don't even notice it happening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if for any reason I put this episode together hastily and forget that I took my little bio break, as we used to call them back in the day. I don't know if that's still a thing. That's what we called them in the early days of MMOs. Back when MMOs barely even had animation. Back when MMOs had text. Just text. Look up MUDs, M-U-D-D. Multi-user something dungeons, or maybe it was just MUD, M-U-D. Anyway, that's back when you played your online games with text. Like, the whole thing was text. There were no graphics. Or very minimal graphics. Graphics with text characters. How about that? So we've already been down here, but now we're going to unlock the... Okay, let's heal up here before we die. And I think we're going to take a little more damage here. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that coffee's getting warm. As in, not hot. So, religion is not your friend when it comes to this kind of stuff, as a general rule. I'm not saying you can't be red pill and be a Christian or Muslim or whatever. It's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is expect your average pastor, deacon, elder, priest, parishioner, congregant, expect them to be on the side of the old social contract. Expect them to pressure you to act in ways that are not beneficial to you. Expect them to take the side of women instead of men. Expect them to be very effeminate, feminized. Expect them to operate in the feminine paradigm, in the feminine imperative. So if you go out there and try to date a bunch of women, even if you don't mislead them, they know you're dating lots of women. Every one of the women you're dating knows that you're dating other women. You will still be labeled. The idea is that you're a player. It's bad. You should stick with one woman. Again, this is the feminine imperative. This benefits women and hurts men. It benefits women that you would limit yourself to just one. It benefits you to know all the options you have, the different kinds of women, so that you make the best decision possible. You know, I gave the example in a previous episode. It's like if you decided that you wanted to buy a new car. Do you go to one dealership, talk to one car salesman, drive one car, and then buy it? Do you think that would be the best decision? Do you think maybe you should do some research ahead of time? Before I got my new car, I researched it for months. I began researching it, let's see, about 9.5 months. That's like a birth. I began researching for a new car 9.5 months ahead of time because I knew the car I had was on the way out, like big time on the way out. It had a lot of problems. So I researched the new car. I looked and looked and looked at all the different options that were out there, the prices, the value, what I wanted in a car, and what I think I would be happy with long term. Because one thing I don't think you should do is just look at like, oh, I'm going to buy the cheapest car. This car is $5,000 cheaper, so I'm just going to get, because I saved $5,000. Now, if you're paying in cash and you only have a certain amount of money, that makes sense, right? But I was looking for a long-term vehicle that I could use in perpetuity, which means this is a car that I plan on using until it basically falls apart. And even if I get a new car before that happens, I plan on giving this car to a future wife, perhaps. Have this be a hand-me-down to my son, maybe. You know, I just don't know. Or have this be a secondary car, and maybe I'll just be an Uber or Lyft driver, although I make more working overtime at my job, so that wouldn't make sense. I'd only do that if I wanted to just do it for fun. It wouldn't be purely for the money. So, no summon signs, unfortunately. That's why I went human, to see maybe we could get a summon sign. At this point, if I wanted to, I could have kindled Beyond 10. This guy is pretty easy for me, usually, but now that I said that, I'm going to end up having problems, so we'll see. You got to know when it's okay to hit him and when it's not. Like right there, it was not okay to hit him. Like right there, I could have run up and hit him, but instead I took that opportunity to Estus. 2. He can do that up to 4 times, so if he does it twice, it's not a safe time to hit. You just don't know if he's going to do it again. Golly, the shortness of this sword is killing me. Sometimes I can't tell exactly where that's going. That lightning, so... Last time I didn't get hit once. He can do that attack multiple times, so it's not safe to hit him after 1. There. Usually I can only get 1 hit in, unless I plan it really well. There we go. I don't normally get that tail, believe it or not. Nice. I did not think that third hit would work. I thought I was going to get kicked or something. So I don't know if he has a kickback attack, but that was an okay fight. A little sloppy on my part, but it turned out all right. So the question becomes that I'm sure people are going to ask, well, what do we do about it? We talked about what you do about not following the old social contract, about the fact that society is going to view you as a perpetrator, as a bad guy, and view your ex or your girl as the victim, even when she's the perpetrator. So what do you do about it? You abandon the old social contract just like women do. Where do you get those mushrooms from? Oh, you get them after you talk to her. You talk to her after you save Dusk. Okay, that's right. May the Force be with you. Wait, sorry. Wrong mythos here. So, by abandoning the old social contract, what does that mean? You have to leave some stuff behind that you are comfortable with. It's dangerous for you, it's bad for you, but you're comfortable with it. And that's why you gotta leave it. One of those things is the idea that once you're married, you're good to go. No. You should look at marriage the same way you look at a committed relationship. Marriage is nothing more than a committed relationship with a government contract attached to it. There is no additional commitment to marriage now, ultimately. There is on the surface. You know, you got the vows and you got this sense that you're tied legally together. But keep in mind, a woman will leave you just as easily in a marriage as anything else. Now, maybe she'll stick around a little longer. Maybe she'll plan her escape a little longer. But in the end, she's still just going to leave. She's still just going to leave. For those that are wondering, one guy posted that they thought that I had a... I forget the phrase he used for it. Something like I was a hurt little boy, or, you know, based on the conversation I was having. This is one of the accusations, and I'm not saying he was accusing me of this, I don't think he had negative intent, but one of the accusations you'll get thrown your way is that, who hurt you? What bad experience did you have with a woman? And, well, yeah, usually you will have at least one bad experience with a woman that will lead you to the red pill. It's great if you make it to the red pill and you recognize reality without having to have that one bad experience. But most men will have a bad experience. And it's not that a woman broke them, although that may be the case. It's just that a woman did something that opened their eyes. Their eyes were open in a way where they can't be closed again. They saw this dedicated, devoted, supposedly Christian woman who said, you know, she'd love him till the day she died, and she's totally dedicated and will follow him anywhere and loves him more than anything and loves God and is so dedicated. And suddenly he finds out, oh, she's been cheating on me for months with my brother or my best friend or two of my best friends or that guy from church. Or in the case that I knew of personally, that a man's husband, sorry, a woman's husband, okay? He found out, I'm getting distracted here, sorry. This guy found out that his wife was cheating on him. And with who? Or with whom? The pastor of the church I went to. And the pastor of the church that he went to and his wife went to. Their pastor. Okay? This is not that super rare. It really isn't, unfortunately. If you go to church, I guarantee you there are a bunch of people at your church who are cheating or being cheated on. All right? So you think she's a good Christian girl, right? She wouldn't do that. She's dedicated. She's nice, good Christian girl, good Christian values. And as a guy, you might be thinking, well, you know, Fox, she really doesn't even like, you know, doing it in bed. Like, she's not that into it. That's what you think until the right guy comes along and you find out that, guess what? She just wasn't that into it with you. She's into it, just not with you. Does that count for me? It does. Awesome. Go off that flippin' ledge, lizard. Yeah, you find out that that good, innocent little girl, that good, innocent, church-going Christian girl is out there cheating on you with more than one guy, possibly. Now, in my case, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty sure my ex never cheated on me. It wouldn't even matter at this point if I found out if she did. I mean, it'd be a thing. It's not that I want her to have cheated on me, but it's not going to affect me, in that sense. I'm over her. So, God, what the heck? Seriously, I have poise. Hello, Dark Souls. I have poise. All right, anyway. Or wait, do I? I don't. I was wrong. I was right about the fact that I should have had that poise, but I didn't have the ring on. Okay, now I know. I knew I shouldn't have been staggered like that. Okay. So, no, I wasn't cheated on, to my knowledge. And no, at this point it wouldn't matter if she had. It wouldn't be an emotional experience for me, really. Would I be surprised? Maybe a little bit, but it's a thing. Not too much though, really. I would not be surprised if I found out that the sweetest, most innocent Christian girl was sleeping around with a bunch of guys behind her husband's back. Would not surprise me at all. If that surprises you, you need to get into the red pill movement. You need to find out that that innocent, sweet little girl is not what she seems like. And even if she maintains that for a while, under the right circumstances, any woman is no longer going to be a sweet, innocent girl. So, you have to set the frame for a relationship. You do, as the man. That's just a natural order of things, okay? And part of that is that you have to be a bit selfish. You have to live for yourself. The analogy of the air masks on the airplane. When the air masks deploy, put yours on first. That applies to everything in life. You have to secure your place in life first. Secure your job, secure your finances, secure a car, secure your career, secure your health, diet, nutrition, your body. Secure what you need for yourself first, always, before you ever think about doing anything for a woman. Because she won't worry about you when she leaves you. She will leave you in a heartbeat, and the fact that you gave up everything for her will be meaningless. It'll mean nothing. It'll be of no value whatsoever. She probably won't even feel guilty about it. She might ruin your life, so to speak, only if you let her, basically. And what's going to happen? She will laugh about it with her... Whoa, I dodged that just in time. She will laugh about it with her girlfriends. She will laugh about how she took you for all this money with all of her friends like you were nothing. Believe me. Believe me. I have seen it happen. I've been on scenes where I watch a woman, when the man is not there, laugh about how she got the house. And I've seen it. I have seen them take their man's clothing and put it in the sink and just pour bleach on it to ruin it. Just because he can't be there right now, because she got him kicked out over false DV allegations. And she's having a great time trashing his stuff. I have seen them... hang on. Oh, shit! I knew that roll was poorly timed. Oh, well. These guys right here have Dark Souls 2 style tracking. Very unreasonable tracking. I mean, they're not terrible. You can dodge it. It's not as bad as Dark Souls 2, but it's Dark Souls 2 style. And that they'll track the shit out of you to the last second. It's not as bad as Dark Souls 2, where you have red invaders in Dark Souls 2, where they'll go to do a jump attack, and in mid-flippin' air, switch directions to try to hit you. In mid-air, they'll turn sideways to get you. Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is a great example of how to do the Souls formula wrong. It is a really good example of how the Souls formula can go horribly, horribly wrong. Not a terrible game in its own right, but oh, you know what? We'll keep going. These episodes can be up to an hour. Not a horrible game in its own right, just an awful Souls game. Should not have had the name Dark Souls attached to it. That did not help at all. It hurt it. They would have done much better to just give it some other name, like call it Dragon Souls. You know, because we have Demon Souls, we have Dark Souls. They should have named it just Dragon Souls, so people wouldn't have tried to attach it to the idea of Dark Souls. People would have immediately accepted it as a different game. So, you abandon the old social construct. You live for yourself. You follow your own mission above all others. You don't do what your mom wants you to do. You don't do what your dad wants you to do. And you most certainly do not do what the girl wants you to do. Okay? You don't. You don't do what your wife tells you should do, or you don't do what your wife wants you to do. You do what you need to do for you to set yourself up, because in the end, all that's left will be you. If you just look statistically at it, let's say you get married. Statistically, there's a 50% chance you're going to be on your own in the end, okay? So if there's a 50% chance, and that's statistically, that's assuming that you just do what every schlump out there does. There's a 50% chance you're just going to be left on your own, and every sacrifice you made for her is going to be just nothing. Gone. Meaningless. So, think about that every time she asks you to make a sacrifice for her. And consider whether you think it's a good idea to make that sacrifice, knowing that. Ask yourself this question. Would I make this sacrifice if I knew she was going to file for divorce tomorrow? Ask yourself that question, and if the answer is yes, then you're doing it for you. But don't make those sacrifices thinking, well, it makes me a good man. It makes me a great man because I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to take those chances for her. She won't do it for you. Believe me, she doesn't care that much about you. Men care about women in a very unique way that women do not care about men. And that's a biological thing. We're biologically programmed that way. We are biologically programmed to want to care for and take care of women. Women are not biologically programmed that way, okay? So when it comes down to it, you will love her in a unique and special and more intense way than she will ever love you. If a woman hears this, she'll get offended by it. She'll say, no, that's not true. Yes, it is. Okay, it's true. All right, so we got this activated. And at that rate, should we try our first shot at Artorias? I guess we could. Why not, right? I mean, it'd be nice to be in human form and try to get a summon. We're going to grab a couple items. We'll probably do Artorias in the next episode. Yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm in a rush here or try one effort at him, die, and then leave the rest for the next episode. And the other rule to follow is never make any sacrifice for anyone else that you wouldn't make for yourself if they weren't a part of your life. So, ask yourself this question. Would I do this if I didn't know her? Same question if it's your dad. Would I open up this chain of this restaurant if my dad didn't own one and want me to do it? Would I take this job offer over this one if I weren't married? Would I move into this neighborhood if it weren't for my wife asking me to? And that's a tough question because you really have to be brutally honest with yourself. Would I do this if I were making this decision by myself on my own? Now, some people may say, well, Fox, you can't make every decision just purely based on what you want if you're married and have a family. No. But the question is, would I do this for me? Does this benefit me? Is this the best decision that I could make with no regard for what anyone else is telling me to do? If you alone were making the decision, would you make that decision? That's the question to ask. And it could be you're making that decision for your whole family, including for your kids, okay? It doesn't mean that you're making the decision just for yourself, purely alone, selfishly, like not even thinking of anyone else. It could be that, yeah, you're making this decision also thinking about your family and what your family needs. Your kids and your wife. And that's fine. But you don't want to make any decision with the express intent and purpose that it be for your wife because it's what she wants. We're going to move over here because it's what she wants. I'm going to take this job over that job, even though I don't want it as much and I'll make a little less money because that's what she wants. Or I'm going to take this job over the other one, even though I'm going to be miserable on a daily basis because it earns more and my wife wants more money. Don't do that. Or, you know what? We're going to buy this big fat SUV that I don't want because she wants an SUV to haul the kids around in. And that's what she wants, so we're going to get the SUV because she wants it instead of the car that I want. No. Now, you may have to make a decision. Like, I had to make a decision that the car that I was going to get could not be a two-door car because, oh dear. Well, at least we saw him now. I think that counts as activating the dragon. Or, yeah, the dragon. And that is how we'll get back to the bonfire. Don't even need to waste a homered bone, right? All we had to give up were some souls and maybe humanity or two. And here we are. Well, that's the end of the episode. I have so much more to say on the topic, but we got to end it there, guys. I want to thank you for joining me. Make sure to follow me on social media if you haven't already. And as always, guys, make sure that you maintain your frame through everything, every relationship, every situation. That way you're doing things for you. You're building your life. You're building your mission with your goals in mind so that ultimately you can be happy doing what you want to do instead of be unhappy doing what other people want to do. And oftentimes it's other people who end up leaving in the end. And then you're stuck there having made these decisions for someone who's not even there for you anymore, right? And that sucks. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, list them down below. I do try to read them all. It's very important to me that I see you guys commenting down there. It lets me know that you were watching and that you do have thoughts on what's being said. I'm sure you have at least one thought. Go ahead and share it down below. I'll comment if I have something worthwhile to say. If I don't comment, know that I have actually read it. I will see you guys next time. Later.